Hello and welcome back to CEO.CA's Inside the Boardroom. Today I am excited to be joined by Joseph van den Elsen, President and CEO of Pampa Metals. They trade on the CSE under the ticker PM. Joseph, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So Joseph, I want to chat today about the province you're operating in, San Juan in Argentina. You're right by the Chile border. There's been a lot of activity there over the last year or so with some huge copper projects. Walk us through, how did you acquire these assets that you're currently exploring and what's so attractive about the region?
Sure. Pampa started its life focused on a portfolio of relatively early stage exploration porphyry targets in Chile. The opportunity came up for us to acquire the Piuquenes project in San Juan, Argentina, and we moved swiftly to do so. A few reasons for that. San Juan is recognised as one of the last undeveloped frontiers for giant world-class porphyry deposits.
Yeah.
You mentioned Filo de Sol earlier, Los Azules. You have various other Lundian mining projects such as Jose Maria, our immediate neighbour Aldebaran, and the El Pachon project. So I think it's a district that's known for large-scale, world-class porphyry projects.
Yeah.
And when the opportunity for us to acquire an interest in a high-grade, so a drill-tested, a proven porphyry system at Piuquenes, we pounced.
Okay.
Our experiences there has been fantastic. San Juan is a pro-mining district.
Yeah.
We acquired a fully permitted property, meaning we were able to immediately initiate drilling activities. We accessed the property via the Glencore El Pachon Road. So in short, our experience has been wonderful, and I think we've entered just at the right time with a strong tailwind for corporate activity and indeed exploration activity too.
Great, and on that exploration activity, you last spoke with us, I think back in May. You had some high-grade results out. I guess maybe we can recap what you've seen so far in your exploration work at Piuquenes.
So the Piuquenes property had been privately held until we acquired it. It had been drill tested historically by Inmet in the 90s and subsequently by Anglo. And both of their drilling had confirmed a high-grade copper-gold porphyry system. We rushed in late last year, immediately following our acquisition, to put down 3 drill holes. All of them were successful. Our third drill hole, which I'm sure I discussed last time I was here, was from 54 metres down to the end of hole at 855 metres. We reported 0.4 copper, 0.51 gold, and within that we had a 518 metre high-grade interval of 0.53 copper and 0.7 gold. So we are talking about an incredibly high-grade, gold-rich copper porphyry system at Piuquenes.
Yeah.
In the off-season, we had the opportunity to integrate the historical database, which included not only the drilling work completed by Inmet and Anglo, but also quite an extensive body of geophysics work and some field mapping. So what we've done now is, I guess, better refine our understanding of the entire land package, and we've just started drilling in the last few days.
Okay, fantastic. And I'm going to get to that upcoming drill program in just a moment. But when you're talking about the land package, can you walk us through your claims there? I know you've recently added to that land package. I guess, how much of it have you explored so far? Why did you go after this extra set of claims? And maybe who you directly kind of contiguous to in terms of the borders of those claims?
So we're contiguous to the north with the Aldebaran project, which is known as the Altar project.
Yeah.
And we're part of indeed the same porphyry cluster as them.
Okay.
So when we acquired an interest in the project, the land package was about 1,900 hectares.
Yeah.
And a fraction of that, perhaps 10 to 20% of that, had even been explored.
Yeah.
So as a consequence of this work we did in the off-season, we have expanded that land package to 2,500 hectares, of which, as I mentioned, a very small fraction has been explored. Our immediate neighbours have a total of 7 mineralised porphyries reported on their property. We think we've got at least 2.
Okay. And drill program just getting started. Walk us through, I guess, what are the exploration goals here in terms of defining what you've seen at Piuquenes Central and maybe branching out in terms of Piuquenes East and the rest of the property?
So as you mentioned there, so Piuquenes Central is the only drill tested portion of our property, and that's where we've confirmed high-grade copper gold mineralisation. We'll be now seeking to further expand that mineralisation and increase the size of the resource or the known mineralisation at Piuquenes Central. In parallel to that, we'll be drill testing Piuquenes East, which is an outcropping porphyry target, which sits only a few hundred metres from Piuquenes Central and similar distance to the Elsen North occurrence.
Okay.
So that's something we'll drill test very shortly. And both of that drilling, both at Piuquenes Central and Piuquenes East, will happen concurrently with property-wide mapping, where we'll be looking to identify future targets for drilling in either later this season or if not in the next season.
Okay, and what are the seasons like there at the property?
So our property is at about 3,800 metres above sea level.
Yeah.
We have a base camp at about 3,250 metres above sea level. And as I mentioned before, we access that via the Glencore El Pachon Road.
Yeah.
The drilling season is probably from the 1st of November until the end of April.
Okay.
You are able to do some more field work, perhaps after into May or indeed in October, but the drilling season is probably about 6 months.
Okay, excellent. And in terms of the timelines for the work that's already mapped out, so we've just begun, I guess, this week, the start of November. Do you have a sense of how long you're going to be in the field for, what some of the timelines for bringing those results to market are?
So as you would have seen, we acquired this interest on the 30th of December last year, and we were turning a rig within a month or so. So our focus here is on aggressively exploring this property as soon as we can.
Yeah.
And we're going to make full utilisation of this field season. So over the next 6 months, you'd expect a significant amount of drilling. We'd be hoping to do around 10,000 metres. Deepest holes will be no more than about 1,200 metres, and that'll be complemented by property-wide mapping and potentially some geophysics. So over the next 6 months, you'd expect a strong pipeline of news flow around not only assays, but also the success of each drill hole.
Yeah.
And I would expect the final assays will continue well into the second half of this year. As we've touched on before, San Juan is a hotbed of copper exploration at the moment.
Yeah.
So assay turnaround times, certainly towards the end of the season, will drag out until July or August of this year.
Right. Okay. And sorry, and by this year, 2025.
It's 2025. You're right.
Yes. Okay. Just confirming. I was going to say a 6-week assay turnaround will be very impressive coming into December. I guess changing focus a little bit here, but I think there's a good sense of what's in store in terms of exploration. But in terms of maybe some other factors that set you apart, I want to talk maybe briefly about the cap table. Interesting, your 5 largest shareholders own over a third of the company. Walk us through maybe how that came about and what's the significance there.
Sure. So to date, we've been funded by a fairly tight network of private individuals. That includes myself and Tony, who's been our major shareholder since him and I became involved in the company a few years ago.
Yeah.
We recently introduced Rob Cohen from 1832 Capital to the register. He participated in a placement in July and is now the largest shareholder.
Okay.
So from a cap table perspective, we have about 83 million shares on issue. Market capitalisation is around 18 million at the moment. And I think what investors should take comfort from and indeed be excited about is that we do have quite a low market capitalisation. We are operating in a hot district. We have confirmed there's high-grade mineralisation on our property, and we're moving quickly to further drill test the property. We, within a month of signing the deal late last year, we're already drilling. So I think what sets us apart is that we do move very quickly. We do focus on money going in the ground, and we'll continue to do that in this season and future seasons.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Joseph, congratulations on kicking off this latest exploration campaign. Looking forward to more updates into next year.
looking forward to this season as well.